Hello. Interesting.
Hey people, welcome to this Thursday stream. We are back, I guess.
Well, that's a delay thing I'm going to have to bear in mind. Because it... Ah, okay. Yeah, that's weird. Anyway, yeah, I'm finding out things about my own intro system here, but we'll be fine.
You know what's weird as well?
You?
Yes.
Well, that's a given.
That some bees live on their own.
Oh yeah, I mentioned those in the last stream. Solitary honeybees.
I just thought I would fill in our viewers with our random bee facts, provided by Sparks.
Lovely random bee facts. Yeah, 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 yeah.
We need a jingle and an animation for it.
Right, sorry, I forgot to align my windows before we started.
We interrupt this program for a short random bee fact.
We always have been a B grade stream.
Yeah, last Thursday we told you we'll be back, and we be back.
We be back. What's this? Room idea board.
Oh,
Is this supposed
let
to
me take a
still be
screenshot
there?
of that and then we can destroy it.
Okay.
I was busy looking at hearts. Well,
All right.
so I didn't have a chance to prep the server.
So let's get started. This week we're gonna work on bees again. We started that 2 weeks ago, but we didn't really get to anything 2 weeks ago as we discussed the concepts. Should we go over what we discussed last week? Probably, right?
Yeah, it's probably a good idea to remind me what happened. Because it wasn't
Alright,
last week, it was the week before. We missed a week.
The week before last week then.
Yeah.
So we decided that the bees will be based in beehives that are basically barrels, because the barrels have a nice texture and an interface.
Mhm.
And these will spawn honeycombs and honey. In the early game, I think we settled on in the early game you put bowls in there, and those bowls fill up with honey, producing suspicious dews, which will be your early game way of collecting honey and will give you a bit of regeneration. An important thing to say here is that this module will turn off natural regen, so you will have to collect honey or potions in the late game to regen yourself. And once you advance in the game, you can collect this honey in the form of honeycombs, and you can put them into a liquid tank to extract them and make a tank full of honey, which will be more efficient than using bowls in the beehive. We also talked a bit about how to get your initial bees, and I think we discussed that breaking leaves gives you some kind of lava that you can put into a beehive, and that will populate the beehive initially.
Yes.
We settled on leaves, since leaves are easy to get, and you need to get these bees quite early in the game to provide you with some source of regen.
Mm-hmm.
That's basically it, I guess.
We left the stream with you trying to work out how to make them drop. Did we
Yes.
get that done?
I think so. I hope so. Let's just place a couple of leaves here. Yeah, so we settled on a block loot table. There was a discussion in the last stream about whether we want to use block loot tables, since those basically make it so that we override the block loot table of that block, which makes us incompatible with any other module that wants to use these. But I guess that's fine. I think if we settled on it's fine.
Yes, we decided that we were going to go with it. So I see.
There we go. We can now drop stone. It also drops leaves, sticks sometimes. What I still need to figure out is when it drops what, because I haven't figured that out yet. Like the chances for the things.
Yeah, there seems to be a lot of stone at the moment.
I think it's 1 stone per drop at the moment. Yeah, which is way too many.
Okay, yeah, okay. So I guess that gets replaced by a custom skull, and then the idea is you put that skull on top of a barrel to turn the barrel into a beehive. You
Yes,
drop it on top.
Throw it on top, right?
Currently we're using white dye as our
Oh, there was a discussion as well. Yeah, I think we said that white dye would be neat. So last week we had a discussion here about whether we want to use white dye because we don't like the idea of reusing existing items because it's kind of weird. But then again, the white dye really does look like a lava if you apply a bit of your imagination and maybe if you're drunk.
I think a custom skull would look fine as a grub. We could do sort of a white ribbed skull with eyes on the front sort of thing, but
That would be funny as well.
it might look a bit big when it's the same size as a bee.
That's true.
Actually, it would be larger than a bee
It
because
would be larger than a bee.
yeah, it would be bigger than a bee.
So maybe we should go with the white dye. Is it that weird that you could paint things white with lava? I mean,
I think we
kind
talked
of.
about this last time, and
yeah.
it's not super weird because it is white.
But then again, if you would smash it, you would get some brownish goo.
Before they added all the new dyes, and you could use like lapis to dye things, it would have made more sense.
Yeah.
Also, for some reason, this is no longer creating a hive. I'm pretty sure we had this.
No, we didn't get that to work.
Didn't we? I remember entities appearing, and
I don't think we got anything to work.
There should be entities appearing.
Yeah.
That was a thing working.
execute as type equals
Yeah.
item Minecraft
Off.
white dye. If block is barrel, unless there is already a beehive in a distance of 1, run create hive.
I will continue my work on that block loot table, by the way, because that's where I left
Okay.
off last time.
Hi, Steve.
I mean, it should be doing stuff. Is the data pack disabled? But then you're...
It shouldn't be, because then the stone wouldn't.
Is
drop
there
that
an error?
Second. I can check that for you. Reload. Some missing advancements, but apart from that, we're fine.
Create hive and main are both... Is the clock
Are they
running?
running?
Yeah, is the clock running?
That's the only other thing I can think of.
Yes,
Well,
it is.
Crothers, the doors are on a separate clock for that exact reason, so that it doesn't influence anything else.
I'm pretty sure that this was working last time. Alright, well...
Is there already one in here?
Say hello. I've been coding in JavaScript and PHP all day, so... Yeah, my update isn't showing.
Is that maybe not its ID?
What do you mean?
No, it is white dye. Never mind.
No, I mean,
Huh.
main isn't running. My say command is not printing.
Oh, main's not running. Hmm.
Ambrosia is listed as an active data pack. You can...
Can you manually run main?
Yeah, you can manually run main. So... And the clock is running. I just showed it on the sidebar.
Yeah.
Pulse check is running.
By the way, stream, you might be able to hear cars and trucks in the background. I'm based in Germany and there's like a heatwave right now. So we have like two options here. Either I close my window and we have absolute silence on the stream, and you hear me boiling to death at some point.
Absolute silence meaning Blue is also silent because he's dead.
Yeah, or I leave my window open and you can hear trucks. I decided to go for the leaving the window open option because I need to finish this loot table before I die.
The hottest I've ever been while trying to do YouTube was recording Cube World, because that game when it first came out was very inefficient and it superheated my computer and I had to have the window closed.
What happened to that game?
I think the developer kind of didn't push many updates, so it kind of never left alpha or beta. Current tick, clock tick. Ambrosia has a score of 0. What's engine tick?
That's part of the stage running things. I put it on its own clock so it wouldn't interfere with anything.
Well, I'm noticing that current tick seems to be stuck between 10 and 15 or something.
I'm trying to print it out.
But like you'd be able
weird.
to see if it was dropping below 10.
Because it shouldn't touch current tick. What is
maybe?
it doing?
It's something has changed, and this was working last time. So something you've worked on since then is causing a problem with the clock tick system.
No. Malform Jason.
Special.
Yeah, I tested this and everything worked fine.
Are any other modules working? I suddenly wonder. I'm guessing not. Whoops.
What data packs are enabled?
What? This is working.
End fishing.
Liquid tanks is running fine.
Is current tick working again?
It looks more reasonable.
What is this? This is thick table.
Is it working now?
Yeah, it's working.
So all I did was disable it and disable Ambrosia and re-enable Ambrosia.
Oh wait,
so
what? You re-enabled Ambrosia, not one of your things.
I turned off Ambrosia and then I turned on Ambrosia, and that's all I did.
I guess somehow it got stuck over 15 and is it?
Maybe.
I have no idea.
But whatever it is, current tick is now clocking correctly.
It's time for me to remind myself what the max int value is, which is 21, 47, 48, 36, 47. Do you concur?
Woohoo! I concur.
It's been like 2 weeks since I had to print that number, but I want to remember it. It's useful. It's just long. Okay, so now that I've shown off how much of a nerd I am,
You haven't even started on the bee stuff, so don't worry.
we have a beehive here. It has an entity inside it. It's called beehive. So we started off with a bee. Is that right?
Probably.
I think
I'm
it'd be
still
plus.
stuck with loot tables.
So we want the number of bees to affect how much honey is filled into it, like at what speed the honey filling happens. And the number of flowers determines how quickly the hive... The number of flowers determines the maximum amount of bees the hive can have. So... do we need a bees scoreboard? counting how many bees it has.
Please don't call it bees.
GM4 bees.
Maybe ambrosia data?
GM4Bs.
No, because we can't. We're going to need to store several things about the hive: how many bees there are, and like a countdown, like cooldown timer.
Maybe ambrosia data?
But it's not. It's not generic ambrosia data. It's specifically storing the number of bees. Because we can't.
Then
We have multiple things we need to
bees.
store. Yeah. Why don't you like GM4 bees?
it sounds too catchy.
Well,
But you didn't have a problem with GM4 update.
I was about to suggest. I was going to throw update in his face and special beat me to it.
Update is a name. You could put that on a thumbnail.
Yeah.
Put a
I
red
think we
circle
should.
on it. and a red arrow, and you could call it. I installed Gamemode 4, ran a update, and you would never believe what happened. And that would work. But bees, that won't work. It's bees.
Right, we're adding a GM4 bees scoreboard. Then I guess a beehive. Can a beehive have 0 bees? I would imagine it will always have a bee. Because I don't think a beehive should have 0 bees, and I don't think a beehive should stop being a beehive if it dies, because it'll be hard for the player to tell that it's not a beehive anymore. Although I guess we do have the L. Danny is asking what ambrosia is. Ambrosia is, in beekeeping terms, a sugar solution you make by mixing caster sugar with water to create a sugar solution that you replace the honey that you take out of a beehive with, so that you can take the honey and the bees get the sugar mixture instead, and the sugar mixture gives them the energy and the protein that they need, but you get the honey. So it's a way of taking more honey. And yes, the ambrosia is the name of the module because we didn't want to call it bees. Okay, so I think a beehive should always have a bee.
Yeah. Well,
Otherwise, it's just a hive, and no one likes hives.
Nobody likes hives. Nobody
That's
likes having hives. Okay, so I guess when we create the beehive, we should give it a score. So scoreboard players set at any type equals. Wait. Oh, we summon the air effect cloud online. The line below. Set type equals area effect cloud. Distance equals 1. Wait, we don't have an. What is at S in this case? It's the at S equals lava item on top of barrel. Run from main. Okay, so we have to. Has the tag of GM4 beehive. Tag equals.
I'm completely failing at this stupid block to table.
What are you trying
Sparks
to?
could open it on the portal. I could give you a hand blue.
Sparks, can you do that?
Sure.
It's under Minecraft blue tables blocks oakleaves.json. Thank you very much. So, especially if you scroll down, there is just Control F for stone, and then you will find the.
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, it's in the same pool as sticks, but it drops every time for some reason. Like,
Alright, let me pull up food tables.
the stream server is on 1.14.3, Wizard. Levertian says, I saw barrels, so at least 19W something A. Yes, that's true. Took me a while, but true.
There it is. So this compound, which is in that compound, which is in this pool here, which gets one roll.
A special broken.
Am I broken? Probably.
Special is broken, he's trying to fix my thing.
Can you hear me?
Yep, you can hear you.
Oh, okay. Wasn't sure if the voices were back.
Voices. Can I get rid of this mysterious minecart? Actually.
Yeah, but it's gonna. I think the module's off, so it's probably just gonna leave an armor stand behind. But yes, you can.
Alright, I will just leave it. Because we might need it for the honey.
No, it's on.
Honey
Liquid
bee.
minecarts is on. The only thing that's off is metallurgy.
Then
And
it's
Sparks'
broken,
secret
apparently.
Alright, so while Special is trying to help
It's.
me.
I think it's gonna need restarting, like Ambrosia did.
I wonder what happened there.
Maybe 1.14.3.
Maybe. Maybe there's
knows?
something weird with like fake players don't have their scores actually present or something weird. I don't know. If this turns off Ambrosia, I'm gonna be mad.
Well, turning it off and on again didn't fix it in this case.
Yeah, this isn't Windows. Mysterious minecarts is a cool module name. you grabbed it with a minecart, a chest, a furnace, and a command block, and you don't know what you're gonna get. It just plays as one of the three.
Module is going slowly, Sander. Unfortunately,
Well, you could say it's flying slowly.
you could say that, but
Explosion
why would you?
decay.
Because bees.
But bees don't fly slowly. Speaking of those solitary bees, by the way, I had a massive bee fly into my kitchen earlier today and get kind of tangled up in my curtains. I had to rescue it with the glass.
Alright, back to bees. Sparks, where are you at the moment?
Off the bee tangent and back onto bees. I've given a new beehive a bee score of 1. Now I'm trying to work out how to convert that.
Blue, did you say that the leaves spawn every time?
The stone
Is it
spawns every time.
stone?
I can drop it for spawn some leaves for you. There you go.
Oh, thanks. What's the size of this box? Don't pick up any stone. 4 by 8 by 6. Oh, you're gonna make me do math, aren't you?
There's like a button thing for you to replenish that.
192. So
All right, so
3 stacks exactly.
I've built us this little testing area, by the way. So we've got an entity in there now. At Sparks.
Sorry?
There's a beehive entity in here now.
That's what we did last stream, yeah. There's an area effect cloud inside the barrel. It's called Beehive, and it has a B score of 1. What we want is a way of, like we want a cooldown, like a countdown timer which counts down to how long until it tries to fill it with more honey. And we need some kind of way where the larger the bee number, the shorter that time. So we could choose a number and then divide it by the number of bees. But I don't know if that's going to be too quick.
We could also have a number that stores the number of bees and a timer that counts up for every beehive and just instead of adding 1, we just add the amount of bees in the beehive each clock cycle.
And then when it reaches a threshold, it creates honey.
It creates honey and then resets.
That's a good idea.
Will require a second scoreboard though.
I guess
something like hive timer or along those lines. Because you got to start a timer somewhere. And
yeah,
you
probably.
Got to start an amount of bees, but that's fine. Like, not an issue.
Yeah, probably need that. Scoreboard. Oops, scoreboard. Objectives. Add GM4 hive timer.
Yep, that fits.
Dummy. I'm not calling you a dummy.
It's in game as well.
Yeah, you beat me to it. An objective already exists by that name. So I guess what we do in main then, might as well run it off main, is
every hive that has at least 1 bee increases its hive timer.
Do we want a new function to run as the beehive from main?
Probably a good idea,
yeah. Okay. Process beehives. Execute as at e type equals area. In fact, we can put this kill command under process.
We can put everything under process, actually. Oh no, we
can't. No.
Yeah, just a kill.
Steady on there. Steady on. Run function process beehive. Okay, we have a new file.
Are you as lost as I was?
I'm just trying to navigate this. Okay, so...
Yeah, it's hard to read, right?
Yeah, a little bit. Okay, so at the very top you got all of your pools. Okay.
The function call needs
It's
the
gonna
namespace.
choose...
Yep, I'm working on that. Thank you, I can never pronounce your name right. Levertion?
It's the lever ion, obviously. It's like the anion. The anion.
Anion is a beautiful word, by the way. I don't know, I like the word.
No, it's the anion.
Anion, alright. It's a cation. Cutest ion. You can't pronounce your name.
Is there an error?
That helps. I will check that for you, spoilers. One sec.
Thank you.
No error, but I checked your external connections and there appear to be a couple of hackers using your IP address in a foreign country. I need you to follow through to this link and install software. Can you press the flag key and R for me?
Sure. I hope it's nothing serious.
The flag key.
The flag key.
Gosh.
So I was at my dad's place a couple of months ago, and a scammer called him, which was quite weird because he doesn't speak English, and the scammer only spoke English in a terrible Indian accent.
Oh dear.
So I took over the call, played dumb, and took like 10 minutes of the scammer's life to eventually lead him to Chrome's dinosaur game, and I was like, there's a dinosaur game! And the scammer was like, can you do that again? And I followed through his entire script again, and he tried to direct me to his website again, and I went to the dinosaur game again, and I was like, there's still a dinosaur game, and I was like, yeah, you can jump. Let's beat the high score together, and at that point they hung up on me. Which was quite sad. I seriously wanted to beat the high score with them.
I think I may have just done a... Oh, okay.
Did you do a kill at E?
I thought so, but there are still entities around, so I guess I did a kill at me. I guess at
I
S
guess
is not
process
the beehive.
because you were not in the beehive. You ran it as yourself. You are not a beehive. You are not in a barrel, so the function killed you.
But
It's kind of funny.
but isn't the execute running as the beehive entity?
Yeah, but you just ran the function from yourself. If you look in chat, Sparks processed your
Okay,
commands.
right. Yes, of course.
Oh, did you run it manually?
Yeah.
He
However,
ran process from
process
himself.
hive.
He was not in a barrel, so
Pro-
it killed him.
Process beehive is not running from.
It's
Yeah.
a beautiful command. It kills you. It gives you a wiki.
I just thought that I had killed everything on the server then.
Casually. Just casual mass murder.
Tag equals D for beehive. Run function. What have I done wrong? It's not running the function.
Do we have an error? I will check that. Nope, no errors. As error backlog tag beehive as run process beehive. Is it not finding the function? Did I misspell something?
Well, I can clearly run it.
AMB ROSIA process beehive. The namespace doesn't have the M4 underscore?
I think that's what it is, yeah.
Yep, it doesn't, yeah. We should change that, by the way.
For every module, yep.
Because that's not good.
Okay. Hive timer is now going up by 1, but if we
One
change
each time.
the bees in this hive to scoreboard players add at E type.
Why did one of them jump up to 20 suddenly?
Oh, because I think it was already running. Like it was running 10 ticks before.
Alright, I will just...
One was created already and it was running 10 ticks before I created this hive.
Oh, Blue, I think I figured it out.
What is it?
Okay, so because you put it in the stick pool, right? The stick pool has a condition on it that it's an extra thing that it checks other than the weight, which is the enchantment table bonus. So if you're holding fortune, or if whoever runs the thing is holding fortune, I think it wait.
But then wouldn't...
No, it applies as if there were fortune. So it adds an additional probability to the table. So since that one fails most of the time, because sticks only drop 0.02% of the time, the other entry in the pool, which has no other conditions, passes all of the time.
So we need to
Or almost
copy
all
the
the
fortune conditions to the lava.
Or just put it in a different pool or something. Do you want it to replace sticks on some occasion? Is that your goal?
Actually, no, but that was the easiest way of doing it, and I don't know not much about loot tables, so... Should we just create a new...
Oh, awesome. JSON files can collapse in Atom. Ha!
Oh,
Yes.
nice.
There's
can they?
hidden arrows next to the line numbers.
Oh, yeah. That's nice.
Oh, neat.
Oh, that looks so much neater now. I got it down to one line. It's just 2 square brackets, 2 curly brackets even. Does that collapse it for you guys as well, or is that an individual view?
Nope, it's individual.
Oh, that's good.
I would assume individual.
Yeah.
Mizot says different pool. Alright, different pool it is then.
So you think of like a hot tub or like an in-ground pool? Did you delete it out of the
Working on that right now. Where is it? Stone, there it is.
that one's Apple.
Relax. Get rid of you. Did we just create a missing bracket or is it fine?
I think it's fine.
Do we have a summon command for those Vexes yet?
Nope.
Okay, rolls. You probably want a 1 roll because there's gonna be 1 entry.
Where is the
Oops. Not like that.
Where is the data command for the bee skull?
We should probably get our own skull eventually, but
Do we just go with like a skeleton skull for the time being
just
then?
go with a Steve skull for now.
Give it
Tiny
give it a
flying
player head.
Steves, I like it.
I can
Yeah,
get
just-
the data if you want it now, or we can like
Just
throw a
go
toffee
first.
head or something on there.
Yeah, go for a toffee head for now. That's a good idea. But how do I give that a chance now, special? Like, oh, just by the condition, chances condition, right? Like the sticks there.
Blue?
Yeah,
Sorry, you just kind of cut out for me. I was checking you were still there.
I'm still here. I didn't die due to overheating. It's actually getting quite chilly in speech marks, which is nice for once. Conditions. So where does conditions go?
Bound X.
So those are supposed to be the place that it sticks around, like its home location. I don't know exactly how well that works. But, like, it's supposed to stay around its home X, home Y.
I thought you guys said that you can adjust the box size that a Vex flies around in.
Yeah, that's home X, home
Here,
Y, I
it's
think.
Home X, home Y.
That's
home.
not on the chunk format page. Is the chunk format page missing the data?
That could be. There's the home X, home Y thingy. Chunk format. Even if you don't specify that, they will automatically stick to the place they were spawned at.
Yeah, but it's not the home X and Y I want. It's the radius around that they fly.
Bound X. When a box is inside, it wanders, selecting blocks within a region. Actually, you can't select the size, but the size is pretty reasonable at 1 chunk for it.
Yeah, bound X, Y, Z is making it fly to 1, 1. It's
But
gonna.
the size is 15 by 15 by 11, which is reasonable.
Yeah, I'd have liked it to have been smaller, but it's not terrible. I was hoping, because if we made it a lot smaller, then there'd be less obviously clipping through blocks, which is the thing that bees don't do.
I mean, I've seen them climb through a couple walls, so.
Yeah, I mean, eh. Expected name at line 214, column 10. Oh no. Yeah, it's ready, comma. Reloading. No errors. I temporarily increased the chances special.
It'll be half the time, in theory. So half of them about.
Well, why did you?
Should be
Oh
two
yeah,
and a
you
half
looked at the
stacks.
chances. Can
Yeah.
we game rule random tick speed?
We'll see what happens. Okay, I'll pick them up and count them. Should be about 1.5 stacks. Yep, 64 and 24.
Neat. Alright, so that requires balancing and the proper item.
You
we
want to
set
put
white
that?
die?
I think we said that was okay.
I'm just going for white die now. I can give it NBT, right?
Yeah.
Just using NBT.
Set
Colon.
NBT. No, it's a function.
God damn it.
Like set count. It's like that. Function is set NBT.
Is it set NBT or is it count?
Set.
Okay.
Function.
Colon.
Minecraft set NBT, and then
Set underscore NBT. Alright, so now we need some proper
is it
NBT.
supposed to be a string?
Do you want,
Yeah, it's
do
a
you want
string.
to do that? Do you want to fill it with some NBT?
Sure.
Guys,
yeah.
our experience tanks have turned into. I think the experience went bad. And we
Strength
should throw it away.
potions.
It's over its queue. It's over its queue day. I'm pretty sure.
Since for some reason Liquid Tanks is no longer on, its fire got extinguished,
Oh.
so it just went
It's
dark.
It's more like sewage.
It looks a little rotten.
Tessa is saying, can you summon the Wax and then set the bound one tick later? My reading of the wiki makes it seem like that might work. Oh wait, no, never mind. I think the bound automatically sets itself, so we will just have to summon it.
No, that does not with summon. I don't believe it does. Unless that's the thing they've changed recently.
Let me try that. Summon Wax with no AI, and we'll see.
I think if you include any NBT, then any like default stuff is excluded. So like if you just did summon Vex with no brackets, I think it would work. Sort of like how if you do summon Rabbit with no brackets, it'll match the biome color, but if you put any NBT at all, it always defaults to the forest bunny.
That's true. I will see, I guess. Toolbox. Yeah, they don't get the MBT if we include any MBT. So we need to get the MBT of where we need to summon it and manually set it. But that's not hard. That's possible.
I'm watching this Bevex fly around. It makes some very, like, because it's holding it in the hand, the skull makes very sharp turns when it changes direction.
It's a bee sparks. They can make very sharp turns. I mean, they can probably make really sharp turns if they use their stinger, because that's really sharp as well.
By
Actually,
all
it
known
isn't.
laws of aviation.
When you take a closer look, it looks like the bee is drunk because it hangs at an angle.
Yeah, I think that might be a problem. We can put it in the head slot instead.
But that
It'll be
makes it really
bigger.
large. I'm not sure. I prefer it being smaller. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe people don't see it as much. As it says, it looks pretty good.
I've given them a silent tag, but they're still making noises.
These bees-
Those might be somebody else's,
That's
because I
my
know
works, yeah. This one.
other people have been summoning them.
Mine is that now. Alright, I will work on the coordinate getter. Where do you spawn those bee sparks?
From my chat right now. I was trying to work out how
When-
to. I was trying
Yeah,
to
when
work.
do we spawn them?
I was trying to work out how to do it. Like, I guess we need to not do it on the main clock, but on something slower. Because otherwise there's going to be too many of them. Unless we give them a really short lifespan, but then they'll look weird.
Yeah, so how do we want to control the numbers? Because the amount of bees flying around should be proportional to the amount of bees in the hive, right? Do we want to just hard-code some?
Yeah, I'd say that
Sometimes.
fixed numbers of bees cause a certain number of display bees to appear on the hive.
Alright, yeah, that sounds good. It's safe.
Yes, it's just a question of how best to do a slower timer for the bees to appear.
Maybe just a scoreboard-based one. Simple and probably most efficient.
Do we want to Ambrosia data then? Which is probably too long, actually, as a name.
Then just bee data?
I knew you'd come around.
Damn you. In 2 weeks, I will notice that Ambrosia data was indeed not too long, but you just wanted bee data too bad.
Oh, hi, Tessa.
It's 17
Tessa's in
characters,
chat.
so I guess that does fit. Oh no, it's one too long.
Yeah,
It's
it's been here
16.
for a while.
Well,
Who's
I
that?
had a loot table page covering my entire screen. Apology.
Sorry.
Oh, hey, Tess,
Archer
it.
Keeper?
I
See,
was.
Sparks notice.
It's one character too long. Ambrosia data.
Ah, damn it. Yeah, just go for bee data.
We could use a modulus of the hive timer, or do you want to count up separately?
Oh, we could use a modulus.
It would mean that
The hive...
because
Actually, that's super smart.
then it would
Then we
automatically spawn more bees based on the number of
Yes,
bees.
then we don't have to hard code stuff. We can just be careful with our
Be
modulus.
careful. Sorry. Sorry.
Immediately apologizes.
So this is not the direction I want this stream to go. We have to be
Alright,
careful. That doesn't happen.
Let's be nice and reasonable here and use a modulus.
Yes, thank you. I love modulus. It's like my favorite operator. Because I have
If
one
I
of
could-
those, apparently.
If I could make a wish and wish to be one operator, I would probably be modulus.
Uh-huh.
Can we stop?
Let's
Is
go.
that possible?
I don't think it is.
Special. To be or not to be is the question.
There we go. Blue, there was a trailing comment. I'm like, what am I doing wrong with my NBT? Yeah.
JavaScript
'Cause
is
I'm
so
like-
forgiving of trailing commas, I
Well-
discovered today.
Special, the trailing comma, I just
They're
wanted to
forgiving of
be.
everything. They don't have any rules. They don't enforce anything.
Yeah, it's just using a modulus is super clean.
And what are we doing a modulus of? I guess that slightly depends on what our max number is, but like, how often do we want a new B to appear? Say every 10 cycles?
Actually, we shouldn't call this scoreboard B data because it's more like a B timer.
But we're using it to temporarily store the modulus value, so we can use it to calculate other stuff too.
Should we create another scoreboard called B timer?
Why? Because we need to calculate the modulus each time, unless you want to count up separately from the hive timer. So the modulus is being put into this scoreboard temporarily, and after that, it can be used for other things.
Oh
if we need
wait,
it.
yeah, right, yeah. Stupid me, sorry. I don't have the right to be in this function.
Blue, is there a reason these leaves aren't decaying? Oh, because I placed it by hand, so they're all persistent, aren't they?
Probably.
I'm just going to put it in init, where we can change the value of the custom player.
These values are changeable, isn't it?
Currently, it's 10.
That's a thick
Stole
larvae.
that from Noodles.
Sorry, what was that? So I had noodles.
What? Oh, that's funny. That's a new message I haven't seen. I just did data get myself, data get entity at S, and the server told me couldn't deliver a chat message. Huh. Probably because it
Wait.
was too long.
Oh, that might be.
Yeah,
I
string,
did
string,
that my
string was too big. It tried to encode 322,000 bytes.
How dynamic can you get with the bound data items? Can you get them to fly back to the hive by setting the bound data? Test it. Yeah, kind of. So there will be two types of bees. The roaming bees, which will be just decorational, and Sparks wants to do pollinating bees as well. So those will track flowers and fly back and forth and stuff like that.
Misa, do you want us to use a fake player to instead of @s here?
Yeah, you should, by the way.
Okay.
So you should.
He was very insistent with the periods between every word. Although he didn't use capitals, so can't have been that serious.
It's that kind of quiet, soft voice that is more dangerous than shouting.
Oh yeah. Thanks, Masood.
Spawn B probably, and we'll set it to spawn modulus speed date. No,
Spawn B.
no, we'll set it to at S's GM4 hive timer. And now we will do spawn B by
You
wherever
sure?
you start. Yeah.
What did
yeah.
you do to get this to 0.83333334, Blue? Where did you pull that number from?
Where?
You upped the enchantment.
Oh, I just
Chance.
upped them all by 100.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
So you didn't just like pull that number out of nowhere. Okay.
Misa is saying we can use the hive timer scoreboard with a fake player to store the value, so we don't need an extra scoreboard.
I mean, I guess we could.
Might need another scoreboard later anyway, but I guess that's true.
I think it fits into the hive timer better, and Miss Out is really freaking out.
Okay, I'll get rid of the B data scoreboard from init, and
Leave it. Let it be.
we can't stop hearing it now. Let it be. Why?
Maybe we'll need it later. We need something to store.
But I'm gonna
modulus anyway.
I'm gonna change
Yeah,
this. The spawn
get rid
modulus
of it.
fake player. I'm gonna move to the hive timer.
Get rid of it. Kill it. Kill it. Get rid of it, and yeah.
So what? I'm getting rid of B data.
Yep.
Okay.
Where are you storing the modulus now?
I'm initting it in it as under hive timer, but I think we're gonna have to set it back to 10 at the start each time if we're using that entity.
Why? No. We just have to calculate this every time. And
Okay.
we will not do it here. Instead, we'll do it in a function that
Well,
calculates it. So
we're setting this back to the @s again. Oh no, we're doing that to add to the B's. That's fine. Yeah.
we are doing this from a BF array. Did you include add? Yes, no add here. Add as. You can tell that we haven't been doing this for 2 weeks.
Or
Spawn B is the modulus of the hive timer. Well, spawn B is undefined right now.
Wait, shouldn't the spawn modules instead be the number of bee sparks? We don't have to set the spawn modulus. This will just be the number of bees, right? Because that was the entire point here. And you're right, this is undefined, so we'll have to spawn B GM4 time equals it is GM4 underscore hive time, and then we'll have to do
If the hive time is going up by the number of bees, and we do a modulus of the number of bees, won't it always return 0?
Oh, you're right, because our spawn time isn't static. It's the derivative of the spawn of the hive time is static.
Which is why we need the modulus to be a number that isn't.
Yeah, all right.
Actually, that's a point.
Yeah.
If we go with like 10, then if we have 3 bees, we'll never spawn a bee because 3 is never divisible into 10, or multiples of 3 are not divisible by 10. I guess 30 would, but you'd get less bees with. You'd get bees less often with 3 bees than you would with 2 bees. Because 2 bees would spawn a bee every 10 cycles, and 3 bees would spawn a bee every 30 cycles?
So my problem is I'm confused here. What I thought we were doing, but we weren't, is that we had a static timer and we had a number of bees, and then we could just modulate the static timer by the number of bees, and that would always work.
It would, yeah. Except that would probably spawn way too many bees. Because if you had 1 bee, that would spawn a bee every cycle.
Oh, yeah.
In fact, that's the wrong way around as well. The more bees you have, the less bees you get. Ha.
Can someone help us out here? Because I think we're basically lost. What were we trying to do? What was our aim?
We're trying to spawn vexes, and the more bees in the hive, the more vexes spawn.
Up to a cap, right? Probably want a cap. So
probably a cap, but I think we were going to have a cap on the max number of bees in a hive anyway, which was going to be kind of naturally occurring based on how many flowers you can physically fit into the search radius.
So how about this? We define a constant like 10, and we subtract from that constant the number of bees in the hive. That gives us the more bees we have, the smaller the number that we get out of that.
Yes.
And then we modulate by that number. So if you have 9 bees, for example, then you would get 1, and that would give you a bee each cycle.
Okay. Well, currently spawn modulus is 10.
And all right, and then we don't spawn the bees more frequently. Well, we kind of do, but we don't spawn the bees depending on the modulus of the hive timer, but once the hive timer hits that threshold where a bee shall be spawned, we spawn more bees at once. Depending on that inverse number and the modulus.
Okay.
Can you follow me?
No, but I guess just go ahead.
I will do this, and you can concentrate on something else, I guess.
Okay, so the 3 of us are going to do 3 different things. Let's see how this works.
And we're all going to talk about it at the same time.
Yep.
So that way there's 3 times as much content for people to listen to. They just have to listen to it 3 times in a row to get all the information out of it.
Is there a command which inserts items into the first free slot of an inventory?
Loot.
/ loot,
can
right?
do that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Slow can give.
Make spawn bees that time I can. Who's placing leaves? Oh,
I'm breaking leaves.
Was
lots of fortune.
Mizzle able to follow me?
He's using SpongeBob text. I'm freaking out, so probably not.
Well, currently our beehive produces saddles, but
Wait, what?
I'm just using an existing loot table for testing. I can't. Your cursor's going to come with me, sorry.
Don't worry about it.
Okay, so Fortune 1 should have been a 16th of a chance, so that's 4 times 3 over 16. About 12, yep. Looks good to me.
I think we're trying to do the same thing, Sparks.
I thought you were... No, you're spawning bees. I'm adding honey.
Yeah, that will be the same thing. We need a function here that we now need a function that runs once you hit a certain threshold.
But we've already got that. We have a hive timer, and when the hive timer reaches whatever threshold we set, we run a function.
Yeah, yes, and I need that. So in that function, we will also spawn decorational bees.
Okay, so we already had a thing that worked. I guess I didn't initially want to do it. Yeah. We were going to wait until the hive timer reached a threshold, and then we can summon more bees, and the more bees there are, the more bees we summon. It's less about...
Yeah, but we still need a function. What I'm saying is we just need this function that you were trying to code in.
Okay. But if this number is going to... This function is going to run faster for... This function is going to run more often for beehives with more bees in them.
Yes.
That doesn't really solve our problem for the bees because
Yes, it does.
No, because the duration of the individual bees is going to be the same, right? So you will, like, a beehive with one bee, the bee will despawn before the next bee is spawned, or
I will spawn less, though.
Not less bees. The bees will... The lifetime of the bee will be wrong.
I thought the lifetime of the bee.
Do you want the bees to stick around longer?
Are we using a constant bee? But then what do we do when the hive reduces the number of bees it has?
So what I was going to do
just expire.
What I was going to do, Sparks, is we have bees with a constant lifetime that is a bit longer than the shortest possible cycle.
Yeah.
And then as a hive gets faster because it has more bees, it will naturally spawn more bees.
You spawning the same number of bees regardless of how many bees there are in the hive, relying on the difference in speed to cause more bees to visually appear. Okay.
Yes, because that will work.
That's fine. Okay. I thought you were spawning more bees per cycle.
By the way, here's a convention question. Should we?
No convention questions allowed.
This is important. So we used to...
Yes, New York Comic Con is better.
We used to use the score matches for constants. Should we instead add scoreboard players for constants that are referenced in multiple places to make them easier to change?
Only if we use them in multiple places. Like if we're doing something like, if there was a module that wanted something to happen when a player hit 4 health, but like we weren't convinced 4 health was the right number, but we used that in the code a lot, then maybe it would be a good idea. But also, I don't know if it's probably a little less efficient, so hard coding it in that case might be better. I don't know.
You'll probably have to branch off into different functions here, Sparks, eventually, because you want to fill bowls if there are bowls present and
yes,
stuff like that.
Yeah, I was gonna check if this was working first.
Spawn beehives. You don't want beehives spawning beehives. That would be terrifying.
I love the fact that we no longer have to check every single, like, cycle through all the slots going, is this slot empty? No. Move on to the next slot. Is the next slot empty? No, etc. Slash loot is nice.
Spox, do you still have that spawn B command in your chat?
Yeah, somewhere. Here it is.
Thank you.
It doesn't currently have a lifetimer set.
I will do that.
Special just working on the stage system instead of bees.
No, I turned something on because someone spawned in weirdly, and as I walked past the switch that said World Hunger, I wanted to see if it was working.
Oh, damn it.
And well, there's
what are we
people
gonna-
here to potentially look at it.
Special, you
What are
also
we gonna-
typed W for some reason.
Ah! Sorry, I meant to type E. My bad.
What are we gonna do about the custom name of the wax? Because we should name it B, but then it shows up when you hover over it. Oh no,
Do
it
you
won't,
want it
because
to hover?
The wax is invisible. It won't show the name.
Problem solved.
Why do we need to have it a name?
So that you can say
Oh, okay,
player was
never
killed
mind.
by B.
You got killed. Yeah.
Gotcha.
I should also set the attack attribute of these bees to 0, so they don't really hurt you.
Yeah. Yes, we don't. We wanted them to only
What if,
attack
like,
players who don't have
random
leather
players-
armor on, right?
What if, like, an occasional player is highly allergic to bees?
Depending,
Seed specific by username
No.
allergy.
depending on your UUID.
Yes. You have a predisposed
You're-
allergy.
You're allergic in everything. Crothers, the switch that says World Hunger, when it's on, it means that people have hunger.
Does that mean we haven't solved world hunger?
No, because World Hunger's off, so people are fine.
Okay.
That would actually be beautiful, by the way. Predetermined allergy.
I love,
Raise
the,
awareness.
I love the idea of UUID based
Would that so you'd want it to be the same in every
disabilities
world?
or allergies. Yeah, it would be the same in every world. It's like, if you play Gamemode 4 and you happen to have this UUID, then you have... I was going to say AIDS, but that's a really bad example. You're allergic to flowers. Like if you enter a flower forest biome, you just get nausea. Because we can do biome detection now, right? So...
That'd be kind of funny.
It would really annoy people. Because the only way you could... If you wanted the
Oh,
effect, you would only be able to get it by buying another account. And if you didn't want the effect, the only way to get rid of it was by buying another account.
I don't see how that would annoy people, Sparks.
Well, people will just have to learn to live with it like they do in real life.
You can do a biome detection in advancements and in loot tables now.
Maybe we should do that thing where when people join our server, we ask them if they have any allergies, which is usually used to make sure that we avoid giving them the thing that they're allergic to. But in fact, we're just going to translate their real life allergies into Minecraft. Cats, dogs, flowers, bees.
Alright, so bees should now be summoned.
We should
And
probably...
they shouldn't damage you, in fact. They shouldn't even drag you, because I set the follow range to 0. I hope that works.
Did you just put the stuff I wrote back?
That
you deleted?
Process beehive, line 11, position 8.
No.
Is that where I left an E?
Position 11. I wrote this and you went, no, I'm doing something else. And then...
Yeah, I
deleted this.
put your stuff.
You need an objective in there.
Why is there an add there? Why is there an add S there?
This is going to summon a bee every clock cycle currently because we're not actually setting that score back.
Wait, what are we not setting back?
The hive timer to 0. So it would spawn a bee every clock cycle at the moment. But I've now added that scoreboard.
That's fixed.
Yep, I fixed it.
Reloading. There was an error anyways.
When we reload, we
so-
should get a bee and a saddle. We did. Nice.
The bee just flew away. Why did it go actually?
Because they have like a 15 block wander
there it is.
radius.
Well, it's neat.
Oh, and then it explodes into a cloud of smoke. I like that. Oh, it's little toffee heads. Oh. Oh no.
Oh my goodness. That's
Bee
not
gone.
Actually,
thought-
looks surprisingly
like a bee from a distance, yeah. I guess we just, I think
There.
they just, should we design the skull so that it's a diagonally designed skull? So we just treat them
Yeah,
as
we could do
rotated,
that,
if
yeah.
that makes sense? So have the eyes on like 2 of the corners.
Do we want them to puff into a little puff of smoke, or should we teleport them out before that happens? I'm fine with the puff of smoke, to be honest.
I think I think the smoke looks funny, but they're a bit, smoke is a bit big, like it's a bit noticeable.
Tiny little bee releases like
Exactly. They're just heavy
Okay.
smokers.
But then we'll have like a 20 hertz checking for these bees. They don't follow you,
Oh.
so
Yeah, I know.
I don't know. We'd have to look at the behavior of the bees a little bit, but if the wander point is set at the hive, then
I haven't set the
they
one.
might. Oh, okay. Well, once it is, it might be that they go up the same amount as they go down. So you might want to put it a couple blocks above the hive so that they don't spend half of their time
I
underground.
sort of assumed.
If that makes sense.
Oh, you can see that Vex for a moment before the invisibility effect applies. This is the back grenades issue again. Can we summon them maybe a bit lower
Mhm.
so that they're
We can summon them
hidden?
literally in the hive.
Yeah, summon them lower down so that you can't see them in that moment before they.
And reloading.
Tessit says, I think a diagonal skull could look cool and unique. Yeah, I think it'd be nice because they're kind of,
Yeah.
they are pretty much constantly sideways and they kind of wobble a little bit, which is kind of cute.
Eclipsian 30 says you can add allergies if there will be potions that remove the effects.
I think I'm okay with them going through blocks if they don't hurt you because then they're essentially a particle.
These are essentially particles.
Java edition, it doesn't get custom particles. Gamemode 4 makes them anyway.
Yeah, they don't hurt you apparently. They also have half a heart, so you can.
You get XP from
Oh,
them. Oh no.
Oh, we can't fix that, unfortunately.
we can fix that.
It's an
No, we can fix that.
XP farm.
Oh, yeah, we can.
We can fix it
I
by
hate
giving
this
them
entire
invulnerability or a lot of health.
Or that death time negative
I guess
81
I-
whatever.
Oh yeah.
That's something. But an XP farm is really, really tempting.
I love the bees just wandering around. Toffee's head looks worryingly like a bee from far away, but I just like the atmospheric effect they give. So the other type of bee we're going to have is the type of bee which leaves the hive and like makes a beeline for a flower and then like flies back.
Thank you, Mizet. Right, no more XP farms.
We can
Unfortunately.
We can use a command. We can use a command to cause the bees, which don't actually like aim for the players because they don't attack them, to damage players that are not wearing leather armor within a block of them or something. So they still might sting you if they wander past, and you're really close to the hive. The thing is, I think I would have preferred that if it was. I guess the beehive can execute off bees within a couple of blocks of the hive to damage players that are close to the bee if they're not wearing leather armor.
Yeah, well, I guess we could do that. Those bees are
Or
And puffy.
or the bees which are released when you open the hive by looking in it.
Those are just...
Those attack you.
I think that's a better idea.
Yes,
for
I
us.
like that.
Doesn't require excessive clocking. And
Yeah, so if you open the hive, there's a hole.
it will
The bee flies out the hole, and that one will attack you because you're physically going into the hive. It
There will
doesn't
probably
mean...
be a couple of bees proportional to the amount of bees inside the hive.
Yes, and you can't open the hive with anything except players, can you?
Yep.
Like,
We can...
nothing else
yeah.
can cause them to open, so...
Well, you could use a hopper, but I think that's fair, because if you automate it, then you
That won't change the open state of the barrel.
Yeah, what I'm saying is, if you use a hopper, it won't open, so it won't release bees, and I think that makes sense.
Yes, that's fine. What happens to the loot command when this is full? Does it drop the item outside the chest, or does it just stop?
It just does nothing.
It was full a second ago. It didn't seem to. I think it just fails.
Who took saddles out?
I don't know. I took some saddles out
Okay.
to see what would happen, like how fast they refilled, but they refilled pretty fast. I can manually run that command to see what happens.
Well, it looks like it's
Can I-
definitely just doing what we want, which is it has a max capacity.
Loot.
Maybe we should go for XP
Insert.
farms, because Eclipsion 13 just gave us the perfect title for our video. We could even use red circles and red arrows. Killing all the bees for levels. Or even better, making bees go extinct for levels.
My dad will kill me.
The bee should be killed as well when you take damage. That would be hard to add, though, Tessa.
It appears that the saddle just disappears out of existence, so that's pretty good. If it's full.
It's not a myth, Tessa. If a bee stings you, it will die, because the thing is actually part of its...
If a bee stings you, there's a high chance it will die.
chance it will die.
Yeah, because the stingers, they can sting other things without dying. It's that our skin is too I don't know, elastic.
I think the main problem is that the stinger of bees, they have like a little hook, so they
Yeah.
can't pull it out properly.
Yeah.
And
A bee can survive stinging you, but it's quite unlikely.
And
So
similar-
bees will leave you alone. They won't sting you unless they have to. And if you
Yeah.
generally see them out in the wild, they will leave you be unless you go too close to the hive. In which case they will
leave you be.
they will usually warn you first. Actually, they'll like fly around you a lot, stuff like that, before you get too close. So they don't try. They're generally not too keen on dying, but they will if they have to. Killer also asks what the honey will do. The honey, I think, is going to be used as a regeneration source. Speaking of which, how do we find and replace items in this chest, in this barrel? Is there an easy way to do that, or do we have to do it on a slot by slot basis?
114. Bam. What is it that you want to replace?
I want to find bowls and replace them with suspicious stew.
All right. Put a bowl in there.
All right. Am I about to be? And we can limit it to only replacing one bowl, right? I'm putting 2 bowls in there to see what
believe
happens.
so.
Okay, go.
We can find. I'll
Just replace it with
inventory.
anything. Inventory.
ID. Minecraft. Bowl. Is going to be merge value.
Only one, Misode. This is so that if you don't want to get a honeycomb, you can put a bowl in here and just get a bowl of honey to drink, because otherwise you're going to need liquid tanks to make use of the honeycomb. But the bowls will let you get it as an earlier game thing.
Oh, it's not inventory, it's items, isn't it? Bam, they're now diamonds.
Can you replace one? That's the important bit.
I believe so, I can check. Oh, just one?
Yeah,
Ah, rats.
that's the thing.
Well-
Because otherwise people can fill it with bowls and they'll just get instant stew, which is a bit cheaty.
Well, I believe you can figure out how much got modified. Like, I think running this command you might be able to figure out how many there are in that, how many bowls there are.
And what do we
Then
do?
do it.
What do we do after we've replaced them all with suspicious stew? How do we replace all but one with bowls?
Could just go back, or blow it up, or I don't
Blow it
know.
up.
I mean, I'm figuring we can probably check each slot, like hard code, but I'm hoping we can avoid doing that. Because we can definitely check each slot for a bowl.
Can't you just check for the existence of a bowl and then
Well, yeah, we can
Next
check for a bowl
one.
first, then we can check each slot until we find a bowl.
We could lock it into it only does one at a time, just in any slot, because that's possible.
Yeah, it doesn't
Like,
it doesn't have to be
So
the first slot.
first, yeah. So we just check, because now we can dynamically target slots depending on their data.
Yeah.
So like, this is the command that I ran.
Data
So
modifier.
first we could be like, hey, how many bowls are there? If there's only one, then do this. But if there's more than one, don't. Or we could try to count the number of bowls.
I'm
Like,
imagining
and if that,
I'm imagining that early game people are going to just fill the whole thing with bowls and then want to let it fill up. So there probably will be more than one bowl, and I don't think that should stop it from working.
okay,
We want to find the first bowl and or find a bowl and replace it, which we can
start creating. Go ahead, sure.
we can definitely do it by checking each slot individually, like hard coded.
Welcome to stream chat, someone.
Yeah, Crothers, we want to allow more than one bowl though.
you know what we might be able to do? Wait, no. Clear doesn't work on block inventories, does it? Is there any way to get rid of one item? Just completely destroy one item? Like, out of a chest, out of an inventory?
One random item or a specific item?
Just like one item. Like, can you get rid of, like, if there's, like, out of all these saddles, is there a way to just pull out one? Because we could pull out one item and then put in one item.
Yeah, that's what I was.
It might not, the slot might not be preserved, but that might be
That's
okay.
That's fine, yeah, I think.
Replacing one specific item is a missing feature on 140. Meh. Maybe we'll have to loop through.
Clear only works on players, yeah. But there's not a way to trick loot into doing it, is there? Clone it over a hopper, wait for a tick, put it back. So Sparks' ideal interface is fill the thing with bowls and let it fill up over time?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's not even thinking about players like putting a pile of bowls in, if that makes sense.
Yeah, we would
Single bowls.
have to ignore those.
Yeah.
We can that's pretty easy to lock multiple bowls, like in one slot. So if I did that, I could just append to the data and be like, bam.
But you can't
Oops, I
stack.
forgot
The
this
problem is you
slash.
can't stack suspicious stew.
Yeah, so that's fine, because now the single bowls will be changed.
Yeah.
Like watch the
That's still not really solved.
so
the
that just
problem.
prevents that one, just not the original problem.
Yes. I think we might have to hard code it. Check per slot. We can still do the command you were pointing at before to check if there are any bowls in there at all. So we can do that to like.
And do a function tree.
Yeah. This syntax for item indexes is valid everywhere.
Yeah.
So that we just throw that in the if data part of the execute. If there's any bowls. Although technically we don't even have to do the indexes.
Right.
That we could just do,
So
regular.
before we spawn a saddle, we wanna go tag at s give gm4 no bowls, and then we execute as at s tag equals gm4 no bowls, and then tag at s nbt equals, what was that you typed? Items bowl count 1.
Alright, I've made it so that newbies get the proper location at their beehive now.
Is that why they were flying so far away?
Yeah, they didn't have location roaming
What?
center.
Oh, well, you're looking at the NBT of the area effect cloud.
And that's add, not give, sorry.
What's stream chat saying? Stream chat is saying, oh, so Tessa said, could you make it so you can insert 64 bowls into the first slot and it will fill 2 to 27 and remove 1 bowl from slot 1? So basically, it would auto split the bowls.
What was, sorry, where was this?
Tessa said in stream chat, could we make it so that you can basically fill the first slot with bowls, what you will count the bowls and try to fill the slots?
That's not Tessit, that's Eclipsian. I don't
No,
think
that
we...
was Tessit.
That was Tessa.
Well, we can do it where we can say that the first slot is reserved for doing that and it won't work with any other slot, but otherwise it's going to get complicated.
Eclipsian pretty much requested the same thing. Would just be convenient as filling
Oh, yeah.
with 1 bowl can be a pain, and Blizzard says that would be unbalanced. But I think it'd be fine if we can pull it off, because that would make it cooler to automate, right? Otherwise, you would have a bulky redstone contraption filling it with 1 bowl, like just 1 bowl.
We would have to.
Yeah, but then again,
We would have to find a slot with a bowl stack that is greater than 1. Then we would have to we'd have to clear it. We'd have to remove 1 from it, and then run a loop command to put a suspicious stew in the chest and check whether that loop command succeeded. Because if there wasn't space, then we'd have to give the bowl back to that stack.
Grab all of the earlier. Sorry, Tessa. Keep in mind that the bowl thing will only be an early game thing, and you won't need those bowls anymore once you can process the pure honeycomb. So these beehives, they will actually spawn pure honeycombs once in a while if there's no wooden bowl present, and you can just extract those with a hopper and then put them into a liquid tank. So once you are able to automate things like this, then you won't have to worry about the bowls anymore, because then you will just use the honeycomb that spawned and you will just no longer supply bowls. So I think it's fine if we don't do that stacking thing. And just say the early game thing must be done manually, which is fine in my opinion. Yeah, like Mizzle says, I think it's fine. Keep it manual. Can you guys hear me? Yeah, you can.
Because later in the game, as soon as you get a liquid tank, which requires redstone, so you can get it fairly quick. You just have to go shaft mining
As soon
quickly.
as you would be able to automate the thing, you're
Yeah.
able to just process the plain honeycomb. So you just stop putting in wooden bowls and you get honeycombs instead of the fuse.
Yep.
Alright, can I reload Sparks?
Also, you could just put 1 bowl in it and wait, and then pull it out as stew and put in another 1 bowl, because you won't get a reduced yield that way.
Yeah, but then again, as soon as you're able to build a timer like that, just don't put in bowls anymore and you will get honeycombs.
Yes, yeah.
Put them into a liquid tank.
So maybe we're just overthinking this whole part then.
Yeah, maybe. Sparks, can I reload?
There's a function that doesn't exist, but otherwise you can, yeah. I've now created the function file.
So is the
By the way, you guys haven't noticed my my file naming yet, or my folder naming.
I don't dare look.
Your file naming?
I've created a new folder and a file for the behavior of bees. So we can just put functions for that in there, which is neater.
Oh, I see. It's just you didn't create it in... Oh, behavior. Oh, dear. Except that you are not pointing there. You've got ambrosia initialize roaming bee. You need an ambrosia behavior initializing roaming bee.
There we go.
My name's Bowl. Phil Bowl.
Alright, so should we just only support the first one? Isn't that a bit weird?
We just only support single stack bowls and
yeah,
just
that's fine.
check all the slots until we find a bowl.
Yeah, Clipsian is with us as well. He says no need to automate early game processes. But I think requiring it to be in the first slot makes it simpler and it's fine from a user experience. I think we could just do all slots. It's not that bad.
Yeah, because it is not a common event.
All slots, single stacks.
Yep, sounds good.
That's what I want to do.
I've decreased the height that would respawn the wax again.
So there's 27 slots. We could either have a function that checks all 27, or we could no, never mind.
Well, I'm going to give them a not filled tag, and then whenever the first slot we find that has a bowl in it, we remove the not filled tag, and then that skips all the following checks, all the later checks. Was my thinking?
Yeah, that's. I think that's the best way of doing it, because once we find one, we don't have to check for the rest. Mr. says you'll want to use execute unless store success score trick that used in some premieres, so it only replaces one. Yes,
basically the same thing as Spark said.
Yep.
Just instead of with tags, with scores that can be automatically set.
So, yes, what I said, yeah?
Yep, what you
said. Execute if block.
Barrel.
Slot 0B.
Yep.
Run data merge block blah blah blah, and then the next one. Oh, but
these waxes.
Is there only one thing you have to do?
No, we have to set the tag as well.
Well, if functionally is the only thing that we have to do to change the bowl to something else. Do we also have to do a score?
No, we have to do a tag.
So what? Here. So what, if we do this Spark, so this is what we did in Metallurgy. It's
oh god.
Fake player. Objective.
Oh, so that way we don't have to deal with a tag. We can just wait.
Yep.
Store success.
Oh, yeah, the success score. Yeah.
Success in the score of a fake player.
Are you
objective.
Still typing in the function? I can't.
No,
see
I ran to.
Okay.
Oh crap! Quick. click for autocomplete.
Yeah, fair enough.
Door success, score, fake player, objective, run data merge, block.
Now we don't have the B stat scoreboard anymore. I guess it's going in Hive Timer.
These bees are beautiful for the atmospheric effect.
Mm-hmm.
Especially now that they stay with us a bit more.
Oh, ooh.
I have to...
We have to use modify here, don't we? Because we're changing only one slot.
Matches one or more if block barrel, blah, 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 blah. Store success, score.
Oh, Miss O's right. Replace item will also work. I think I'll use that. Since we don't need to keep any data on the bowl, do we?
Keep data on the bowl?
Yeah, we don't have to worry about like custom bowls or anything, right?
Oh.
That would.
I don't think there are any
okay.
custom bowls, at least not at the moment. I don't know why we'd have custom bowls, because the problem is you fill them with stuff and they break. So yeah, you just literally replace the entire slot, I guess.
Container.1.
0?
Or I guess container 0?
Yeah.
Yeah, 0.
We can only assume that it's 0 based.
Yeah, it is. I was just wondering if replace item went by 1 or 0, if it was going by slot number or like position number. It was slot number.
Yep.
0.
I didn't do the thing where I... So remember you guys said that I should lift up the center point of these waxes? I didn't do that, and I think it looks better this way, because this reduces the height of the roaming area a bit, and bees don't fly up that high.
Hang on a second. Oh, you already changed that special. Nice. Okay.
I changed this one to 1,
so we have,
and this one to 0. Yeah, because we don't need to check that one.
Yeah, exactly.
For that condition.
Sorry, Blue, what were you saying? I'm in game now.
Remember you guys said that I need to make the roaming point a bit higher, because they will fly into the ground?
I thought you said that, but okay.
Someone suggested it. I didn't do that, and I gotta say, I think it's better this way, because this makes them not fly up so high.
Mm-hmm.
And if they fly into the ground, or well, they are bees, they fly onto the grass, onto some flower, you just lose track of them. They are pretty small. Like, it doesn't really bother me that they fly into the ground here, if you take a look at them.
This hive has 4 bees in it, right?
Yep.
I see 1, 2, 3, 4. I see 6 bees. Although I guess it is an arbitrary number. It doesn't actually.
The numbers need to be tweaked. The lifetime of the vexes. I've just set it to 500.
Also, it's an internal number. Like, it doesn't actually matter how many bees there are in there, from a player perspective.
Players can't.
As long as the cloud of bees indicates the rough contents, it's fine. But yeah, we do need to tweak those numbers, because I think at the moment it's producing honey pretty damn quick. If we reload, I think this is ready to... for the first 2
I haven't
slots.
set all the numbers yet.
Yeah, first 2 slots though, right? Are you still editing? Oh, you're doing all of them, right? Did we not want to check whether it's first?
If you do all the work, it always has to work the first time. That's the laws of nature. It's not allowed to fail now.
Why are you changing Why are you changing that last number?
Ah, that's the wrong one. Oh well,
Control
that's
Z.
fine.
Should I work on not making the bees poof into a cloud of smoke?
I vaguely remember there's a way to do that.
Is there a data way to do it? Because I really don't want to run a entity eddy on 20 Hz. Is there maybe some dev time to do that?
reloaded fine.
Okay, so we should see the first slot be replaced by mushroom stew.
Yeah, I didn't know the data for suspicious stew, so I just put mushroom because I suspected suspicious stew might have failed.
It doesn't seem to be happening. You can see the hive timer on the right.
When it spawns a bee?
I don't think the function's running because I don't see the fake player in that scoreboard.
Do we have to initialize the
Oh, we
fake player
probably
first?
do, yeah. I was just thinking that.
I thought you didn't have to do that anymore.
I don't know. Misode, senpai help.
Suspicious. Suspicious.
Well, let's see what happens if we reload. Oh, it's just not there. Is this function running? Say hi.
It would be nice as a player to be able to accurately tell how close to full empty the hive is, rather than guesstimating by the number of bees around. Well, Tessa, you actually don't have to worry about that as a player. You don't need the exact number for the simple reason that you can't add bees to a hive. So what will happen here is that the bees in the hive, they will basically reproduce by themselves by having flowers around, and at some point the hive will be full, but you can't really interface with the bees in a direct way, so you can't add or remove bees. So it doesn't really matter whether you get the exact number. Take out the saddle and see if it's doing that instead.
I think basically the fill bowl function isn't actually running. And the saddles are still filling in.
Magic bees, Mizzo, I don't know.
I think maybe...
Does it have that no bowls tag?
Test failed. Executive block, barrel, items, Minecraft bowl, count 1B. Test failed.
It also has the no bowls tag.
That is... Yeah, that test is failing. Even though there's definitely a bowl in there.
Oh, I know why. We needed the square brackets too.
Yep,
because it's checking the contents of a list.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was when that's when we like converted the path format to data format, and then we forgot a thing.
Bees.
That's probably going to be the same in fill bowl, to be honest.
Yeah, it still didn't work. Oh yeah, you're right.
I can fill replace all of these.
I've changed them to suspicious stew, by the way. I hope you guys didn't.
Did you give it the right data? Because I thought there's a chance suspicious stew just might not spawn if you don't give it the correct information.
I think you can give yourself suspicious stew. Yeah, you can just give yourself a default suspicious stew. I can work on the data though. That's
okay, it should be all good now. The function should work now. Sparks.
Oh, I guess this stew just has.
Aha!
Aha!
Damn.
Nice, it's filling them, and it's only filling one.
What has to?
And it should ignore the ones with the count of not one. So it should do that last one. Yes.
Yeah.
And now that it's full, it should start spawning saddles. So it prioritizes bowls first, then saddles, which I think is good. And by saddles,
So now
I
it
mean
should do a
honeycomb.
saddle instead of a thing?
Yeah.
I love these dev items.
Wait, what is
Great.
It's just we have saddles instead of honeycomb because I copied a loop.
Our bees are just little seamstresses. Seamstri?
Seamstry.
The workers are the female seamstresses. Yeah.
Seamstry, the plural of seamstress.
You just put an eye on anything. It's the Iskall way.
Uh-huh.
Well, I gotta say, the eyes are the correct way to go.
Yes.
I hate
like
furnaces. That just sounds stupid.
Cacti, ferni,
The eyes have it.
tree eye.
You know what
BI.
also has it? The bees.
They have a lot of
BI.
eyes. I think
Look
bees
how many
have,
BI there are.
I think bees have 3 eyes. I want to say 3 eyes.
Really?
I can't remember because insects are complicated like that.
Well, yeah. Well, it depends if you count like every little lens on their compound eye or not.
I think they have 2.
Why is there
they have
only
2
one
for
lantern
movement
on a
and-
mossy stone pillar?
I tried to be random, but I wasn't really.
I
wrong.
was
Well,
I was
you could
right,
argue it's wrong.
guys.
As usual.
As you.
Oh, there are 3 eyes as well as the compound eyes.
I.
So they have 5 eyes. They're called ocelli. They're simple eyes. They have 1 lens, but the refractive power of the lens is not sufficient to form a clear image of the photoreceptor layer, so they're suitable for light measuring functions.
Insects are just incredible with all their
Yeah, they
eyes, to be
really
honest.
are. They're like little robots.
Spiders are just the best. Like I
They're
wish.
They're
I
more
wish we
light
could
sensitive
somehow-
than their compound eyes, and they respond to changes more quickly than compound eyes. They're used in assisting in maintaining flight stability. They have They have a wide field of view, unfocused highlight collecting ability. They're designed for measuring changes in perceived brightness as the insect rolls and pitches around its body axis during flight.
I wish
Interesting.
we could somehow just connect a computer to a insect's eye nerve and take a direct picture and put it on the screen.
That'd be cool.
That would be ever so cool, but it's too delicate and we can't really. And I wish we could do that. It would be super cool. Hey, someone, welcome to the stream.
Insects
Plus,
are
we
crazy.
have no
Bees
real,
are amazing.
There's no real way to know if they stitch what comes into their eyes together into an image like humans do,
Yeah, you can't.
or if
really
they just
tell it.
react by
You know that
instinct.
You know that
Stuff
whole
like that.
do you see the same exact colors that I do question.
That's what keeps me up at night, Sparks.
I'm
yes.
pretty sure that
Yes.
you don't.
Don't get us started on that.
I'm pretty sure that you don't.
You don't.
Yeah.
You don't.
Everyone sees color slightly differently.
Well, in that case, my colors are the prettiest, and you can never prove me wrong.
Anyway, no. I
Here's a
can't.
random fact for you. So
Is it a B fact?
it's not a B fact; it's I fact.
Get out.
Okay.
So, so
That's the wrong
We
letter of
always
the alphabet
assume-
for the focus of this stream, Blue. We're focusing on
We
B,
always-
not I today.
we always assume that our eyes are like these perfect sensors, but they very much aren't. And
Oh, they really aren't.
so one thing that the eye does weirdly is you always think that your eye receives colors equally. So you always think that the white balance of your eye is tuned correctly, but it very much isn't. So most organisms on Earth have evolved to receive green light the best because the sun puts out a lot of green light. The only reason why the sun looks white to us is that we have evolved that way and defined a lot more green light than red and blue is white. So if you would get
Because
yourself
that's
a
what was
sensor-
around us.
Yes, so if you would get a sensor that's equally how do
Color
you say it?
sensitive.
Equally sensitive to all wavelengths of light, everything here would be in a greenish tint.
That's kind of interesting.
Which, by the way, is also interesting because for so much green, it's interesting that chlorophyll is green. Because that would mean that
so the reason for that is
reflecting away most of the
it's
green.
because
They suspect it's
green
because
light
there
has
used to
the-
be a red algae.
I thought it was because green light has like a lower, like it's less useful.
no,
Well, it
doesn't.
should be. It's
It's a. I think
you'd
it
think
might-
they'd
maybe
want
it's a
more.
side effect. The chlorophyll happens to be green, and plants have just had to deal with
Yeah.
it.
the article that I read on it a while ago was they suspected that early in like Earth's history that most of the algae and stuff was red because there are red algae
Because that's
and they have a different they have a different like sunlight absorbing chemical. It's not chlorophyll, but it's like red, and pushes off the red light, the lowest energy light, and takes in all the green. So scientists have like speculated that because there was so much of this red algae around, that chlorophyll was able to be like kind of take over because it could absorb that red light that the red algae wasn't eating. So it could exist below the red algae and eat all of its leftover red light. And it was because it wasn't getting any of the green, and then eventually the red algae died because green was slightly more efficient or something like that. And then chlorophyll.
Yeah. Anyway, we have... How long have we been streaming?
Tangent aside.
I want to do the thing.
An hour and a half.
Do we have grubs dropping yet?
What?
Do we have grubs dropping from leaves yet?
Yeah, come take a look.
You can check it out because people haven't seen it yet.
Start punching some leaves, bud. If you want to get more, use fortune. The numbers aren't quite tweaked. They just go down by half every level of fortune.
Do they only drop if you break the leaf?
No, they'll drop if the leaf decays naturally as well.
Okay.
Just at a 1/32 rate currently. I just put in random numbers. There's one. I haven't given it proper data because I wasn't sure what type of data we wanted. So I just gave it a custom data that says custom data test.
Can you spawn it with a tag?
The item?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can give it any data you want.
I mean, okay. Because we wanted to give it a tag based on the time it was spawned, right? Are we still doing that? Where they die if you keep them for too long without making a beehive?
I think so.
Yeah,
I don't know if we're going to be able to do that in the loot table directly.
I think you'd have to...
But, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you could probably can't get a score.
Which will probably be fine. Because we can search for that item based on a piece of custom data on it.
Exactly, yeah, like a tag.
The only other thing that comes to mind that might be possible is, like, using the new set name from other entity stuff. So we could set the name with a number in it, but I don't think we'd be able to pull that number out into any useful format after that.
That's cool. Is it only oak that they're going to drop from, or is it all tree types?
It's currently just oak. I don't know if we made a decision on other ones. I feel like it might be a little weird for acacia.
If we used a custom skill instead, we could have different types of bee drop from different leaves.
Well, you could just give them different names, Sparks. You don't have to differentiate them with a texture, to be honest.
If they have different names, wouldn't players expect them to do something different?
I don't know, but
That's true.
What I know is that we now have suspicious stew that's called honey bowl, and that gives you regeneration.
Is that being populated into the thing?
Once we reload, yeah. And if I didn't mess up, that is. Couldn't load function fill bowl 7 expected closing thing. Fill bowl 7.
There's a lot of T's.
Oh, why is there a T? Is there a T elsewhere?
No, I think that was it.
Reloading?
You're good.
We have honey balls now.
All clear.
Yep. It's nice.
Try them. They should give you regen.
You can't eat them unless you're hungry, right?
Yes, they fill up a bit of hunger.
Yeah, 30 seconds of regen.
30 seconds of regen.
Nice. I guess that's the same as golden apples, where you have to be hungry in order to get the regen.
We can't.
No, I think you can eat golden apples whenever.
Oh yeah, maybe you can.
But we can't fix this, unfortunately. So
No.
we'll live with it.
But
Yeah, you can eat a golden apple anytime.
we'll let people get like honey potions from liquid tanks, right?
Yep.
That
Yeah,
they can
it's
just
bottled
drink
honey.
whenever.
Yeah. So once you get to the late game, it will be so much better.
Which I guess is kind of makes sense. Like, why? Like, you wouldn't be able to eat if you're not hungry. So, hey BPR.
Hey, BPR, welcome to the end of the stream. Thanks for greeting me, killer.
I just want to eat.
You just
Oh, I
want
bet
to-
I bet my hunger system is telling you can't.
Ah, now I have hunger.
Oh, I need to
Oh.
give this item a custom MBT tag. Because if I don't, then we can't texture data it. Actually,
That's
texture
fine. We
is
can
something else, but
add that after we know what data we need on it.
It's beat with a 2 E's.
GM4 underscore M Pro. So yeah. Colon. Item colon. Honey underscore bowl. Alright, so if I reload now we should get dropper honey bowls that are registered as honey bowls as well. So what? I messed things up. Line 6 expected closing it.
Tessit says if you give the larva a custom tag, they won't be able to stack. Yes, that's correct. And I think we're okay with that because the idea is you wouldn't really have too many, especially since after you have them for a while they die. There's no reason
It
to
should
keep
be
them.
pretty rare.
Although I bet after they die, we can remove the custom tag and make it so
Can you delete the old
they
ones,
stack with
perhaps?
other dead ones, probably. What do you mean so you can sort them out?
Using auto sorter, probably.
Ah, okay.
Alright, so which I need to check these MBT tags before we head off here. Data get entity edit type build item.
It's pretty possible to make an item filter for things that don't stack with other things, right? Because this would be the only
Yeah, but you
non-stackable
if
drop.
we had different types, then you couldn't sort them.
Oh, okay.
Different types
Gotcha.
of lava. I guess we have to decide whether we want B variants and what they would do, like what they bring to the table, if that makes sense.
Alright, honey bowls now have the tag GM4 underscore ambrosia, and then they have item colon honey bowl. Just in case we need that, we did that with all other modules. It's just a good practice to do it.
Nice. I guess before the next stream, we should try and get a B texture and a honeycomb, both full of honey and empty.
Yep.
Hey, Duck, you want to try to make us a diagonal texture?
Yeah, make us a diagonal bee, Duck.
You can either turn
Yo,
your
Duck,
screen
I heard you were
diagonally or tilt
bored.
your head while making it.
I heard you were boards.
I suggest you do it with your head tilted. It'll be more fun.
Oh yeah, Tesla has a point here. They aren't actually non-stackable, so you can't sort them out that way. Special.
No, but it's the only thing that wouldn't stack from a like a tree farm.
So the only leftover thing
Yeah.
from
See,
all the other filters.
yeah,
And you probably, if you have like hoppers or something on the bottom, then like in case you drop something else in the farm, there's probably a backup chest. They're not going to be common enough that you're going to clog up your system, I'd expect.
there probably are.
Wait,
Well, we'll make them pretty rare.
Or you
actually.
can make it so that, well, you
But we
you
can't make
need
them
them.
too
You
rare.
need them
That's-
from the
yeah.
start of the game. They can't be too rare. You
Well,
could
you
could
can-
make it so
we
they
can
only
adju-
drop
we
if
can
the player breaks the
adjust
leaf.
their, yeah, adjust the chances based on
Can we make it so
auto
that they only
DK
drop
or player
from
break.
Player break. Is it possible?
I think
Yeah.
so.
Even.
Because, yeah, I think
Should
so.
be.
We
Just
could
have to
maybe have
detect
them.
the breaker.
We could have them slightly rare for
Auto break.
Or-
Really rare for auto break and slightly rare for player break. I
yes.
think that's a good way of doing it. Yeah, that's a good idea. We need to write that down. We have our yellow wall here. Make
Did you manually copy this yellow wall from the last stage, Blue?
yes. Shame on me.
We have buttons for that now. I have to show
But
you guys later once I finish
But I
them.
built this beautiful testing setup.
Should the lava
Yeah.
have law which says throw on a barrel to create a beehive?
Well, I appreciate lore, but not that plain. I wouldn't throw it on a barrel. Maybe something more like
A squishy beehive starter kit.
maybe
Just to have barrel.
looks like it needs a cozy home. Sorry, rogue.
How dare you live near a road, Blue? Come on.
Yeah, usually I don't live near roads. Usually I scare off all roads. So I just live without roads. Roads are overrated anyways.
Okay, well I guess we've got a couple of things to sort out. Oh, actually, next stream I will not be here.
I will be here though.
So Blue can stream.
Yeah, I will just impersonate Sparks.
Yeah. So that's,
that'll be fun.
That's that Thursday, and then the Thursday after I won't be here either. I'm going to be in Switzerland for both.
I am here. I can impersonate Sparks. That's fine.
Okay. I don't mind.
I will
If
stream.
you're welcome to work on bees while I'm gone. Sad face.
We can work on probably. It'll probably take a good portion of a stream to do the age stamping.
If I'm
larva.
gone for 2
Yeah.
weeks, I don't expect much to have progressed on bees because it seems to be quite a complicated one.
Yeah.
We just really slow.
Test it. The 1/32 drop is just a temporary one. It was a big enough difference from the other probabilities, so I could see if each of those probabilities was actually corresponding to what you were holding or not.
These bees are beautiful. All right, let's call it there. here.
Thanks for watching, everyone.
thanks
We
for
will
watching, everyone.
see you next time.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Blue, say bye.
Bye. Sorry.